to the best swing trading channel on YouTube. I hope you guys are all having a fantastic day today. Now in today's live stream, we are going to be talking about pretty much how to get started with swing trading and pretty much what I look for evaluating stocks. And we're going to be talking about some of our more recent swing trades this past week. So I hope you guys all enjoy it. If you guys have any questions, by all means, ask in the chat room. I have the chat room up and loaded here. And if you guys want to learn more about swing trading, I do have an amazing course in school where I teach people my strategies, my mindset, how we find these stocks, guys. So check it out. You guys can use code GIVE, all caps, GIVE. There's only 3 spots left for the $50 off. And the cool thing about using that code is when all those spots fill up, you guys get entered in for a giveaway for a whole bunch of cool things like trading journals, merch, and all that stuff. So guys, check that out. I will see you in there. So let's just talk about swing trading and give you guys my overall honest opinion before we jump into some of these stocks. So what is swing trading? So swing trading is when we buy a position, we buy a stock, because I swing trade stocks. You guys, I'm sure you guys can swing trade like Forex, you can swing trade crypto, bonds, commodities, even ETFs. But for me and my strategy, I swing trade stocks. Now, stocks is pretty much just, you guys know the stock market. One stock represents, just a small ownership inside the company. Now, on average, I do hold my positions for anywhere from about 6 to 9 days. And there will be times where I, buy it today, sell it tomorrow, or in a couple days, or I buy it today and hold it for a couple of months. You guys know I held Disney for, I swear, like 3 months, looking for, a lot of growth out of that. But, on average, like I said, 3 or anywhere from 6 to 9 days. And so now that we kind of understand that, I think it's always smart before we jump into this is I've been doing this full time for 6 years. A lot of people have this association that swing trading is easy or an easy way to get rich quick. And guys, that's not the case. It's a job, it's a career, and you got to treat it like one. So understand that, but let's jump into some of the positions and stocks we are looking at here. So, all right, I just want to make sure we are good and there's no issues here on the audio and stuff like that. So if you guys give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up if we are good to rock and roll. But I think we are. Yes, all right, we are good. So, all right, what do I look for swing trading? So this was a more recent play that we took, and this is on Google. We've swing traded this stock quite often, to be honest with you. And you guys will notice here, we had this great upward trend, right? Meaning the stock goes up in value pretty much. Now, looking at these lines here, these blue and red lines, the blue line represents the 90-day moving average line. The red represents the 200-day moving average line. Now, you guys can see looking at this red line here that we've seen tendencies of getting a lot of buying pressure at this line here. So recently, it sold off here, a couple months ago, and we got great buying pressure. And then recently it came in contact with, 132 right on that moving average line. And so what we did is we hopped in. We can go ahead and draw it out. We hopped in near and around this. Whoa, I accidentally put 2 out. We hopped in near and around the 132 area. And when we did that, we set our overall stop loss just below it, right, at about 129. You always want to set your stop loss just below these moving average lines just because they are pretty hard supports. So it makes sense, set it a little bit below, anywhere from 1 or 2%. In this case, I set it about 1.7% behind it. Now, with this one here, yes, we did get the squeeze up, but the thing about it is actually our profit was right here at that 90-day moving average line. So what we have a tendency of seeing, we're actually still in on this position here, but what we have a tendency of seeing is when the stocks are below these moving average lines, we see a tendency of them using it as resistance here. So, if we scroll back, I'm sure we can see points where it hits these moving average lines and we get sell off here. Like look at right in here, it hits it, sell off, hits it, sell off. So when the stocks are below it here, we see tendencies of it getting, a lot of selling pressure. So this was one of the reasons we set our profit here at about 138. So we risked about $1 to make $3. But right now we're actually still in on this position because we're using something called a trailing stop loss. A trailing stop loss is pretty much a stop loss that just continues to move up, and you can set it like 1 or 2% behind the current stock price. So if we do get sell off, then you just take your profits, and sit on the sidelines. The great thing about using those types of stop losses is because if we would have just taken profit, at the 90-day moving average line, we would have missed out, on like 2 or 3%, which I understand, taking profit when you can. I've never lost money taking profit, but with situations where we've seen this stock actually squeeze above and actually break out of the, these moving average lines, you guys can see it really didn't use it as resistance here. So that's one of the reasons too, I had, very, very strong confidence that we could get some more buying pressure up here. But Google, absolutely great trade. Let's move on to another one here. Is ticker symbol VRRM. VRRM. Now, the difference between this one and then Google is this one uses the 90-day moving average line as support here. So you guys can see it hits it. We do get a little buying pressure. Boom. So recently, the stock came in contact with it at about 121, setting our profits at old resistance here. You guys can see. And resistance is just where we get a lot of tendency of getting selling pressure. So we set our pretty much profit at about $23.23. And so we set our stop loss just below the 90-day moving average line. We did get this great wick down, but this was all, after hours and stuff like that. So it wasn't that big of a deal. We had that great move. That was just on an earnings, and we weren't even in on this position yet. But you guys can see it hits it. This great move up, risked $1 to make $3.41. Absolute great trade here on this one. Another one that we are in on is Shopify. Shopify here is a company, I think we all know what they are. They are an e-commerce brand. Now, you guys can see that we've seen tendencies of these using, these moving average lines as support as well. So as we hit this and we get this great buying pressure, boom, it squeezed up and we did get some sell-off here, which in the grand scheme of things isn't that big of a deal because it didn't dip below our stop loss. Now this one here, yesterday we were up about 3%. We did get a little bit of some selling pressure today, not even 1%. But the thing is we're already up on this trade here, and I think hopefully we'd like to get a push up to about $83 a share. Looking at the RSI, which is the relative strength index, it's still at about a 55, so we could see a move up to like a 69 on the RSI, which would put it near and around an 82 or an 83. Another trade that we are in on here, and we're actually right about to sell, is ticker symbol AEG. We took a small trade on this one, not a heavy trade like we did on Google and Shopify. I always have a lot more confidence trading like blue chip companies. They follow my strategy a lot better. But you guys will notice here that we have these really big gaps. You guys can see these huge gaps. So we took a small trade here near and around this 557 mark, setting our stops just below it at about 545. Now, if we actually draw out the risk and reward, you guys can see it wasn't too bad of a risk and reward, but geez, why do I always do that? I always add one more than I need to. So you guys can see setting it, at about 545. Our target is up here on this trend line here. I was hoping we could get a push above it, but we still risked $1 to make $2. Not too bad, but honestly, I would like to have gone a little more heavy in on this position, but just because we're hopefully trying to fill this gap here, so when a stock gaps down, if there's support, we could get something called a gap fill where it fills that previous gap, and that's kind of what my plan was. And you guys can see it has this general downward trend as of short term, so in the past 2 months here, but long term up. But I was hoping we would get a push above these so we can get some sort of breakout or something along those lines, which didn't happen, but that's fine. Another trade that we took, we already talked about Shopify here, is TSLX here. You guys can see that we took a small trade that was near and around this moving average line here, the 90-day moving average line, squeezing up. Does look like we are already out on this one with pretty much probably a break-even trade on TSLX. Hopefully we get a little push back up, but we might have made a small amount of money, not that bad. Next one here is NVS here. This one here we traded recently from this 90 going up. There could be some sort of opportunity from 97 back up to 101. This one here, it doesn't move that much. So honestly, we probably won't trade it, but it was still cool to see here. Another one that I'd want to talk about is PARR that we are in on. Great move, really, from the 90-day moving average line going up. Risked $1 to make $2. But it's all right. The thing here is pretty volatile. We do have some old resistance here. That's why we did get some decent amount of sell-off. I was hoping to get some sort of resistant breakout, but that's all right here. Next one is TAL. This one here we are out on, but it was a great trade this past week on that 90-day moving average line. We had tendencies of it hitting it in the past. Great move going forward. Small trade going up. And then we had, what's this one? This one here was one of our trades that we got stopped out on. I'm never perfect, guys. I'm never perfect. And that's the thing about swing trading is having good risk management. So, this one here, we got stopped out just below 1170. We're hoping to take a trade, on this price support. So not really moving average lines, but more price support. You guys can see it hits it. We get buying pressure. I understand the moving average lines probably helped, but we were hopefully trying to get a small trade, from about $12 even up to $12.88. Didn't happen. Stopped out. Wouldn't trade it for the world. This was just more of a learning opportunity. One of the things here I think that I should have kind of done is just looked back at more previous history. It's a very, very flat stock, so it doesn't go up or it doesn't get a lot of buying pressure. It's just more consolidation, but still, I don't know. I thought we were hopefully going to get some buying pressure, and it just didn't happen. But next one here is BLND here. This one here, great trade, hitting some resistance, selling off. Could be a small move going forward, but absolutely probably the best risk and reward for this past week. Risked $1 to make $5. Great stop loss placement. But yeah, great trade. All right, so now let's talk about some stocks with some sort of opportunity here. Now we got CCJ here, which is squeezing down to the 200-day moving average line. I'll remove this just so you guys can kind of see. So coming in contact with like that 200-day moving average line, we did get a little bit of some consolidation, but we could see a move going forward from 39 to 42. Then we got McDonald's here. McDonald's is coming in contact with that 200-day moving average line, which I understand McDonald's lately hasn't been super great, but we do have that general upward trend, which I do like. And we've seen a little bit of some tendencies of getting a little buying pressure on moving average lines, the 90, and hopefully we can get a move going forward from, 280 up to like 286 would be a great trade here. Next one here, we got UNP right on the trend line here. Hopefully we can get another move from 245 to 257. The thing about this one is it's kind of in this middle ground where you could set your stops, in between the moving average line and, your entry price. But then you also have to understand that we've seen tendencies, of moving average lines acting as support. So this one here, I'm sure the risk and reward isn't the greatest because personally, I would have liked to hop in, as close as I can to that trend line here. But you guys can see the risk and reward really isn't that good. Risking $1 to make $1.20. So we'll see what happens with this one. And the reason why I'm setting it below the moving average lines is because we have a lot of support there. So if it does break down, you're very, very close to a support line. But that's the thing here. You could set it below the trend and have tight stops. Now it jumps from a 1.2 to 2.4 risk and reward here. Another one is ticker symbol CNC here, right on that moving average line. I'm excited to see where this one goes. Hopefully we can get a good move going forward here. Boom, boom. Let's draw this out so you guys can see. So we'd set our stops, like we were saying, you could set them below the 200 or in the middle. I probably would just set it in the middle. And then our first profit here would be around here. So risking $1 to make $3.69, not a bad trade or opportunity here. INICHR here, another trade that we could see some potential on. And if you guys are in the group chat, I will screenshot all these stocks with some sort of opportunity and put them in there. So boom, boom. I just want to make sure. And if you guys are watching, like right now, subscribe, do what you guys do. I appreciate every single one of you guys for hanging out with me. And we do this every single week, every Thursday at 1. So make sure you guys hit that bell, like, subscribe, hit that bell so you guys can be notified for the next one here. Next one here is IMBT here. Could see a little trade here going forward, but I don't like how it's kind of dipping below that moving average line. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Those are all the plays that we are in on, or all of the stocks that we are looking at. So guys, if you guys have any questions, by all means, ask right now. You know, we do have a couple of minutes here, so feel free to ask. And if not, I hope you guys all enjoyed this live. If you guys did, hit that like button, subscribe, and don't forget to check out our swing trading course where you guys can use code GIVE, all caps, to get $50 off. Now, when you use that code, you get entered in for a giveaway. So make sure you guys check that out. And you guys are more than welcome to rewatch this if you guys missed any of it, because I do see a couple of people in here. So if you guys missed any of it, go watch all the way going forward. Screenshot, you know, some of these right here. Opportunity, holding, you know, all that stuff, guys. So I hope you guys all enjoyed it. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Hope you guys have a fantastic day, and we'll see you guys next week. Take care, guys.